So that's good. I think we talked about this. I definitely talked about this in the last episode. But in case you missed it, if I put this here on this road, let's say in this plot right here, and there's a fire in this neighborhood, just hypothetically, let's say there's a fire in this neighborhood. What's going on? Move the Mouse here, back in City Skylines. Let's play Season 9, Episode number 4, The Town of Swampscott. It's better than it sounds. And we have just a ton of residential demand. I think I said residential funny. Right out of the gate. So I want to fill in a little bit of this area over here. Kind of, again, using the trees for where things should and shouldn't be. So we'll have a little road kind of coming through there. And maybe this kind of connects up over here. Our fishing industry, and maybe this neighborhood kind of connects in that way. And then I want to bring this down straight if it will let me. Let's go there, and then let's come straight across with that. Then we can get a couple neighborhoods in that way. Maybe two. A lot of overlap. We'll do something like that just to change it up a little bit. And we need a ton of residential, so we'll just fill all this in. We'll do that. We will hook up, let's see, a little commercial zone over here. We do have commercial demand, so let's give it to them. We won't zone right on the fishing industry there. Someone mentioned in the comments, and it's a good suggestion, right? Let me do this while I'm over here. So if we watch these fishing routes that I've got set up, let's play it on 3x speed. Because I've made the route so long, the boats are actually going to be filled before they head back. Let's see this guy. Let's see if we can actually highlight him. Come on. How can I not? The hitboxes are really weird for these. I should have stayed on the guy that I was already on. Okay. Well, anyways, they were about half full a quarter way into the journey, so they are going to be full coming back, but it was more the look. I don't want them driving down here and then turning around. Like, I want fishing boats actually driving around our river, driving around the harbors and oceans, which is why I made those a little bit longer. While I'm talking about that, speaking of water, what did we say? 460 is the new 440. No, still doesn't help if I haven't overlapped my zones correctly. Doing a lot of slot pipes this city. I'm sure it's bothering somebody. That is nicely covered. We'll do one more down here, and then we can extend this to the right side of that road. That looks pretty good. This is again placeholder for highway. I'm still not 100% sure what I'm going to do through here. It's going to require some ripping apart of what's happening under there, and I think that's okay. 4,600. Let's make sure we talk. I think we talked about a lot of those things in the last one. We didn't enact many of them. We did talk about policies. We have highway as an option, but that gets really expensive to build. And then lots of transport options that we've started to unlock. The next milestone that we hit is a big one at 7,000, because that gets us campus areas, intercity buses, high density zoning, including the IT clusters, office. So lots of good things. University, prison, some pretty good stuff. And I think we get some of that waste disposal, right? We'll unlock that very soon. Waste transfer facility, that's unlocked at... Oh, okay, maybe I was incorrect. Never mind. That's not for a while. Okay, why does this not have water over here? Did I miss a little spot? Wow. Alright, there's a pipe for you guys. They were right on top of that one. Oh, wait, never mind. Never mind. There we go. I'm just positioning that for a thumbnail, because why not have fire in every single thumbnail this season? Man. People say I have bad luck, that my cities burn a lot more than theirs do, and I am happy for that. Not only for the entertainment factor, but to know that your cities don't burn as bad as mine do. People have mentioned also that there's an option to stop. Let's jump into options just so I get the... Whoa, not tutorials. Gameplay? Disable fire spreading can be turned on. That wouldn't be fun though. But if you have problems like I do... A little bit of a worker problem over here, and some of that just has to do with the fact that we didn't have enough residents. We want to keep filling these in. But we also want to start thinking about building across the river and expanding out to up here, which is relatively flat. It does have some farmland, but I feel like that would be a good spot for our for the downtown area, for some of the higher density zoning. Let's see. I already committed to buying that tile up there. If we did a 9 square, a 3x3, I mean, it's not bad. If we went 3x3 this way, I think it makes more sense. Those 9 squares going up that way, it does negate this very farm-friendly peninsula, but I think it gives us some good lines to cut the city off with. But then it also prevents me from building kind of over here, which I think would make sense. So maybe these 9 make more sense? I don't know. I haven't committed too much. I do know that this is probably going to change, and I think I said this was what we're going to work on. I don't know if $91,000 in the bank is enough for this. Let's just see, what would it cost? What does the cloverleaf cost? That's $25,000 right there. So it is not cheap. It is not cheap to drop in that much highway, and we would have to potentially move rail around. That's an interesting problem. Where is train? We haven't unlocked trains yet, so we can't repair this line. Which honestly, right now, I mean, what's the difference, right? Is that impacting anything in our city? It isn't. That's not coming into the city. It's just cruising on through. So we could break that if we wanted to. Let's see what we can do here. This is not going to be the final build because we don't have the money to landscape and do all the crazy things that we want to do. But let's come in here and make a mess of this. Just because. We'll get rid of all the actual exit ramps. And let's also bring this up. So where this dips, we're going to keep this... Well, we're going to keep it up. We're also going to go the other way and actually elevate it. I think that's going to be important to give us some space to work with here. So we'll stick with our traditional lanes because that's about all we've unlocked so far. And snapping options. I'm going to turn my step on. Let's see. That should be level. So we'll come out 10. We'll go up 1. So that should be enough space just to get over the highway, which is perfect. And then how close do we want to be here? Is that where it wants me to snap? Right there? Yeah, that looks okay. So we'll come just over the highway. We'll snap down one. Down one. And that should be... Yeah, that's relatively level. We're going to get the highway over here first. So let's get the highway just over the train tracks. And I don't know if you noticed, I'm trying to snap to the nodes so that it makes even pillars. So like if I do, you know, if I make a road from here to here, it's going to put pillars here and here. But if we go to where we already had those pillars lined up, it just gives it a better look. Now I'm going to do some roads that are going to let me get a little more parallel. So it'll let me build that click. I'm going to come up one more click. So we'll do something like that just as a placeholder. Let's do the same thing over here. How long is this road? 920. So what that does, or what I'm thinking that's going to do for us, is now we can connect like that, if it'll let us. So we can do something like that. That's fine. And now we can break this interior segment. Good enough. And now I'm going to jump back to highways. And let's freeform. And again, we're on the lowest step. So maybe we'll actually do this a little different. We'll make this a relatively tight corner. So we'll come up one click, about what, 5 units out? Something like that. And let's see if we can do this. All right, that's a long on ramp. So let's see how that does. So that'll be one click. That'll be 2 clicks up. Come on. I don't want to turn the snapping off, but sometimes it makes it impossible. So that's not perfect, but it's not terrible, right? It's got a decent curve. This one coming off the highway is a little sharp. But the height is relatively smooth. So let's see if we can do the same thing over here. So how do we do this? We did it a little sloppy. So we'll come out to like 1, we'll come out to 2. It's a little rough. We're just trying to get the traffic flowing here, though. So let's see. We're 68,000, and we'll bring this out. I don't know. That is a 6-lane road. For those of you that caught that before I placed it, good on you. That should give us enough room to work with for the on and off ramps, I would hope. This one's going to be a little tricky because of the train, but again, we're not using the train. Not yet. We'll freeform. We'll do this. We'll start that curve on one click. We'll start to smooth out and flatten out with the highway. We'll come up that way. That was a little abrupt, huh? I guess this is another click up over here. So because it's going to be a little further, we might want to bring this out a bit more to make this less abrupt. Maybe something like that. That's a little better. There's still that little bump, but it's smoother overall, and that can be a fix it later project. I'm fine with that. So knowing that we're going to come up a couple steps this time. There's one. There's two. There's three. Let's do four, and then hook it in like that. So there's not going to be any traffic coming this way just yet, but we want this to flow smooth, right? So we've got traffic exiting to go right. I think we fixed all that. Let's go back and we'll upgrade over here. And that is all correct. This can change direction and get upgraded. And same thing over here, an upgrade. And then change direction. I don't know why when you upgrade it, it's like, hey, you have roads on either side that are going the other way. So I'm going to upgrade this to face that road the opposite direction. I'd like to think there's a way to build logic in there so that it knows what you're trying to do, but what can you do? So that's relatively spaced out. We will come back in and kind of fix little bends like that, but I want to see kind of where everything sits, and then we can shimmy stuff around later. So how do we get traffic to the left? That's always the trick, right? So if I want to go straight, that's easy. If I want to go right, that's easy. That's what we've done here. This is all straight or right. How do we go left? So if we kind of come under here, that can go that way. And go that way. It's a little tight. Let's get a couple in here and see if we can figure this out. So what if we did highway ramp right here? Right? Like that. And that. There's no way it's going to let me hook this in the way I want. Like that. Alright, how do we do this? Do we have enough space to get under there? Maybe we have to go over. I'm going to go 2 units up. And then another 2 units over here. Right? Was that 2? Let's see. So that should be straight. That's another 2 units up. Before we curve over like that? No. This is why I use the pre-built intersections. On PC, it's a very different thing. So how do we How do we do this? Well, let's make our lives easier, and let's connect to this if we can. So let's delete that one segment. Can we come through here like that? We can. And then can we connect that back up is the question. That could work. But how do we gotta kind of swing out to hit this, though? That's the problem, right? If we're gonna come under here. So, how do we get out? Sometimes that's the easier consideration. So what if we did something like this? Will it let us? Can we go over this? Not at that height, huh? So let us do something like that. So we could split this lane and do something like that. That could work. Right? But it doesn't leave us a lot of room. It doesn't leave us a lot of room for then... We've got to kind of try and do the same thing over here. Right now, I want to get traffic hooked up the way that the T was. So I want to make sure traffic leaving the city can go straight, they can go right, they can go left. I want to make sure traffic coming into the city can do so from this way or from that way, and we can always figure out the last two legs of this after the fact. So coming this way, we can go off that way. Coming this way, we could exit off of here and try and come over that way. Sometimes it's easier just to do it in reverse, though, right? To see what you got room to fit. So that should be level. So that'll hook in there a little bit before the other one. Let's see, what if we came... over like that. It's slop, but it'll work. I drop in the pre-made intersections all the time, especially on console because of lack of move it. People say they want to see more. I don't know that this is what they want to see. I think they want to see some good intersections, not this. But maybe the struggle is half the fun, right? So how do we get from here up to there? We can piggyback off of this. I don't want it to be too much of a ramp, but so that's got a pillar right in the middle. That's great. So that kind of replaces the T intersection. And we'll have to figure out how to get these people to turn left afterwards. So that's a mess. So that's one little project down, and more than half of our money. So let's let that play. Let's make sure. Let's just do one double check. If I'm coming in here, I can go right. I can go on this ramp. And I can come in that way. And if I'm coming this way, I can go right and come that way. And if I want to leave the city, I want to go left. That looks correct. Now, what if I want to leave the city and go right? Then it's the left ramp. That's confusing. That's okay, though. Still got worker problems over there. I was hoping that was going to be fixed by that residential demand being met. Now, people are complaining over here that they are sick, and that is because they are just way too close to that pollution. That industrial pocket that's right there behind them is encroaching into their yards. So this one was enough of a buffer. This one was not. Let's knock back just a couple. Just a couple of buildings. Let's see if we... let's select. So what is this? Is this one building? Right there? That looks like one building. That looks like parking lot connected to that building. So this is... I don't know about... Okay, that must be... Cancel out of that, we can. So that person is sick. Let's see if just rolling back that little bit... That might have been enough. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this person. Who is this? The Garland residence. We're gonna make you a historic building. Oh. Seriously? Every time? Oh, I give up. It's so ridiculous. It's an interesting mechanic. Let's, you know what? Hey, before I blame the game, let's see how bad my fire coverage is over here. So yeah, that's totally my fault. Let's see. Where can we get them where they will turn immediately? So that's good. I think we talked about this. I definitely talked about this in the last episode. But in case you missed it, if I put this here on this road, let's say in this plot right here, and there's a fire in this neighborhood, just hypothetically, let's say there's a fire in this neighborhood. The firefighters would have to turn that way, because they can't go over the median. They would have to turn that way, and then find a place to turn around, which could be at any of these dead ends. They could come into the dead end and turn around and come back out and go left. So by putting this here, it gives them the option to turn into that neighborhood. It also gives them the option to come up to this intersection and go left, straight, or right. So that is something to consider if you don't want your town burning up. 45,000 in the bank, and we're about to hit that. Well, I say about. We're the next milestone we hit is density, right? High density commercial, residential, and office zones, as well as IT clusters. So it's a good time to take a look. How have we been doing on the waterfront? I feel like those draining the sewage into the ground doesn't scale well. So let's get something way down here. Do we have the eco? We could do the eco water outlet. It doesn't give us a lot of extra capacity. Now, is that powered though? Yes, it is. Okay. So back in transport details, back into info views, we're well into the green now for sewage and plenty of water availability. Probably wasting budget on that, honestly. But that should do the trick for now. Electricity, we're doing okay. Let's double check our budgets. 100% across the board. Fire safety. Way, 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 way light over here. We've got the money in the bank. So this is kind of a nice central area right here. Let's do that. While we're at it, I'm not as concerned about police coverage, but since we only have one little station in the entire city, that might be something that we want to look at. We'll move a couple people out to get a little bit more coverage there. We've still got this spot over here. What is this? Our forestry industry that we haven't really focused on except to watch it burn. Zoning wise, what did we do over here? Not a lot, huh? We left a lot of openings here. So let's move the rest of our residents in over this way, and then we'll take a quick look at schooling, which I'm sure is probably lacking a little bit right now. I'm going to do this for now. I'll see if we get more commercial demand. If this doesn't meet enough of our residential, I might fill in this section over here. I think, though, if we did that commercial, we've got room to get neighborhoods in behind here. So let's do that. Let's do commercial. People want commercial. Let's give them commercial. That should be enough to help meet some of our zoning demand there. It's not the most right now. And then we'll find a way to sneak a couple neighborhoods in here. And I don't know if they'll connect. Maybe one connection there. That's probably good enough. One connection here. Sneak into that. Let's do that real quick. Let's just frame it out. We don't have to actually build it. But just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm thinking. We'll come out like that. So it gives us one more connection into this set of neighborhoods. And then why don't we kind of meet in the middle? Doesn't have to be perfect. Do something like that so we don't overlap too much zoning. And then why don't we come through here? Something like that. I think that's okay. I think that's all right. In one of the next episodes, we will bring this highway through here. I eventually want to hook it up. Let's see what tiles we have. We'll probably buy this tile so we can hook up to that highway. I think that makes the most sense. And then we can start expanding out this way. We'll do an exit here. We'll do an exit over here somewhere. Maybe an exit up this way. We'll see what tiles we buy. But this will be one of our next big expansions. And at some point, we'll carry the highway through here and get it connected up someplace else. Or at the very least, terminate it and have another exit supporting this side of the city. Real quick, let's look at what healthcare, death care. We're okay there. We don't have great coverage, but we also don't have a lot of people complaining. Education-wise, though, let's do this. So we are slacking. We've got the capacity that we need, but we're gonna have people move in. So where do we support a lot of people here? I think we're gonna need. We'll probably need 2 for this area anyways, so we'll put one right next to the fire department. I'll move this stuff around later. And then I'm going to do one over this way. That could work. And then we don't have enough money for high school, but where's our high school at? So that's going to be one of the things that we'll want to do next, is another high school. I want to get disconnected underneath, left to right, these 2 neighborhoods, so that we don't have to do as many residential services. Let's see, what's a high school cost? Can we do that in like a matter of seconds? We can. And of course, we do have some university eligible folks, but we don't have any way to educate them yet because we haven't unlocked university. So let's drop this high school in, and I think we can call it a day. We're at that stage where we're going to have to make some money. What do we think? Kind of keeping all the city services over here, right? We've got police, fire. We'll reorganize and rezone this a little bit at some point. I'm just kind of plopping these in, but we'll give a little bit of buffer so somebody doesn't live right next door to the police station. We'll put some trees or some park paths that cut through there. Not enough educated workers. We're working on that. We're trying. And then over here, not enough customers, right? That's what that one is. So we'll... I mean, that should be a problem that sorts itself out as... Sorry. I point with the... I move the camera around a lot. Sometimes it's annoying, I know. At least it is to me back in the edit. Speaking of, I'm doing it right now. But the thing over here is that this customer problem should be helped by moving in all these residents that we just made space for. So, you know, we'll have... yeah, sure. This is all... Yeah, it's all going to be residential. There's a little half business. Oh, it's going to be such a small, cute little house. And it's going to move out immediately. How do we walk next to it? There we go. 3 times speed? And how quick does it disappear when it realizes that it's zoned for commercial? A little sliding door in the back. Satellite dish on top. I mean, what more do you need? What's in here, right? You walk in. Maybe there's a little kitchenette. Maybe there's a bedroom. Maybe there's a bathroom. I mean, are you walking into the bathroom? I don't understand. It's a small house. And it's also zoned improperly, so get out. Be gone. What's our water problem? Did I not water over here? And electricity problems? Oh no. Alright, so let's see if we can get our problems sorted out before the end of the episode here, before we run out of money. So let's check our economy. I don't think I have any loans. I can take a loan. Let's put in one more coal power plant. Right there. That should solve our power problems. Not enough educated workers, not enough customers. Working on both. So for future plans, I think, you know, definitely the highway. Definitely building something up here. Got to figure out where to go, though. So we'll keep working on educating the population. We will expand the fishing industry at some point. I'd like to go over there because that is, if I remember, all the way down at the bottom. Come on. Still water over there. So running water, and based on its depth, we'll have either salmon or tuna. Whereas stiller waters, like you can see over there, that aren't flowing as fast, we'll have shellfish or anchovies, depending on the depth. So it would be nice to kind of expand out to some of those other areas where there are other fish. I mean, we could even get some fishing industry happening right there in that little pond, apparently. So stay tuned for all that. We'll keep progressing. There's a kind of a look at our highway. It's going to show us the end. It's just a barrier you crash into. You know what I should do? Let me do this first, because that honestly just... This doesn't do anything up here. Not that this will, but people will definitely turn around on it if we do something like this. Straight tool, there to there. Now it's not a dead-end road. People will totally drive up there for no good reason. So back to our cinematic camera. We'll keep plugging along. We'll keep coming up with some ideas. I like to try and do a different theme, a little something different with each build. And some of that just is from playing on a different map and kind of seeing a picture in your mind's eye and painting that out on the canvas. Hopefully you're enjoying this one. Hopefully it's different enough, giving you some ideas and entertaining you along the way. If you enjoyed, likes, comments, and shares all help the channel a lot and are greatly appreciated. If you're new here, subscribe for more and consider hitting the bell to get notifications for updates in this and other series. Follow me on Twitter and join the Discord if you want to get involved in the discussion. I'm going to be doing some live streaming here and there. We're going to build going... I shouldn't say going. We started a build in a different Sunset Harbor map. So I do want to pick back up on that, and that one's only going to be built on live stream, but we're going to have to do The tax cheat and slow going it sometimes. In fact, that reminds me, before we sign off today, let's borrow some money. So the next time I sit down to play this game, I'm not broke. Because if I am, then I start making money, and then, oh, the demand goes up, and I start filling in neighborhoods, and that's when things happen when I'm not recording, when I want to just get set up for the next episode. So let's get set up for the next episode now. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of residential growth, so this is going to tank pretty fast. Or at least I think it is. So there we go. A little bit of money in the bank for next time. Hopefully that will help. Though with highways and high density, that money can go away pretty quick. But we're kind of back up to almost where we started before that highway project. So that's not too bad. We do have residential demand. We are losing people because of that tax problem. This is the one that had not enough educated workers. This is the one that had not enough customers. But other people aren't complaining, which is good. So we'll work on some beautification, some parks, some highway projects. I'm going to try and do a really small high-density section, but stay tuned for that. I was, once again, in the middle of the outro and I got distracted, so check out the links in the description down below. If you'd like to follow, support the channel, all those things. Trying to get back on a regular update schedule, but I don't want to assume that I'm going to have content ready Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I am trying. Check back. Until the next one, from the town of Swampscott, it's better than it sounds. This is Move the Mouse, signing off.